well as songwriter Kevin Lee. Fantastic theremin player, by the way.
Yeah.
And from Oni Press, Jay Torres. Are one of our comic book artists for YO GABBA GABBA comic that will be coming out. So, first things first, I think what we're going to do is we're going to set this up with kind of a little Q&A between myself and the panel. We are going to do something at the end of the panel. Pending time, but I think we're going to have some, where Neil over on the side here is going to pick 3 contestants who would like to participate in a little dance-off for some DJ Land's dance hacks. Neil will just let around and put your hands up if you want to do it, and like I said, we're all going to pick 3, so it's up to Neil. Be nice to
Look for people with flair, Neil. Gabba flair. What flair is flair? What flair is the pants?
So let's talk a little bit about origins and influences of the show. Scott, Christian, you guys came up with this great idea, and I know a lot of people ask you, where did it all come from?
The childhood of amazing entertainment that we all grew up with. I mean, that was the first thing.
Yeah, I mean, we all grew up, most of us that are parents are 30-somethings at this point, like grew up in like the golden age of kids television with like Sesame Street and Electric Company and all the Croft shows and
the Muppets,
Pee-wee's Playhouses. Scott and I, we've been in production doing stuff and trying to get things going with our own bands and trying to make things happen. And when we started having kids with our lives and growing families, we just realized that there was kind of like a little bit of a difference between the kids shows that are on now and the kids shows that we watched when we were kids. And the main difference in being that it seemed like scientists had created a special formula for keeping kids' attention and driving parents crazy. And we just thought that the shows we watched when we were kids were infused with a lot more intellect and sophistication, that parents could get the jokes a little bit too, but that particularly preschool entertainment was so like just for 3-year-olds, and it was the perfect, sweet, flavored, that the kids would watch it and nothing else. And so we just wanted to make a show for our own kids and for us that we could watch with them together. And we just thought of all the most awesome shows that we watched as kids.
Yeah, we were just like naive dads that wanted to, I mean, I guess we naively thought like, let's just get the best artists to help out, the best musicians, the best animators. Like, why can't we cram a show with twice as much of, awesome stuff and do it, No one was telling us no, so we just kind of went for it ourselves, I guess.
And literally, we shot like a little demo in our garage, just with a video camera on high 8 or something really bad. And it was really
It's awesome.
crazy. And we wrote a couple songs, and Try It, You'll Like It, if you're familiar with the show, is the first song we wrote. And I mean, just because we had problems with getting our kids to try new foods and stuff like that. And so we showed it around a little bit, but not very much, because exactly. To
that point, yeah.
We had experiences that made us feel a lot like that with other networks, like dealing with networks and what they were expecting of kids' shows. And so we made this little pilot, and we showed it to a few friends, and we showed it to our buddy John, who's over there. John, raise your hand, come on.
Yeah, John.
Stand up real quick. John, yeah.
We saw the magic. We made it happen.
We showed it to John, and he was like, okay, I know you guys are doofuses, and you don't know your way around the checkbook, so I'm going to round up some money, and we're going to make the show that you want to make. And props to John for seeing the vision of YO GABBA GABBA. pulled all our money together and like literally took like mortgages out on our houses and just put all of our eggs in the Yo Gabba basket, and we just went for it. And just being here at Comic-Con and hearing you guys excited about the show is like,
It's amazing.
it's crazy. It's so awesome. But if you're married or you have a family and you realize, especially if you're a dad, like trying to talk your wife into mortgaging your house so you can make furry costumes, like, and shoot them with a video camera, it's been a struggle. So, but again, I don't know.
Did we sort of spin way
Yeah,
off
we
that
went
topic?
way-
That's great.
Took an inch and
No, that's great.
So we shot 2 episodes of a pilot, and then, long story short, we put up a clip from those those pilots on the internet, and it kind of went crazy on the internet. And then we started getting phone calls from networks, and we ultimately landed at Nickelodeon, where the show is today.
yeah.
I'm sure these guys would love to know about is how you got Lance involved and Kevin, and how it all kind of came together initially with casting and kind of that origin.
The unique part about this story is with kind of like the whole Yo Gabba is we were making it ourselves from scratch. We weren't coming from another TV show. We weren't, forming this as like, oh, this is our second thing we've already done. So really it was friends and family, and it was all the people that, we could work with. Lance was, he's Lance, he was DJ Lance. He's this awesome guy that Lance going to speak to that. We've known each other Lance found me actually, and we've been playing in bands together and touring. And I just always thought he was like a modern kids show host. For years I was like,
So Lance, what was your impression of these guys on your first
You
day?
gotta tell the story, Lance.
Yeah. My impression of these guys the first day.
Yeah,
first time we stalked you at
first time they
Amoeba.
showed you the costumes.
I know we're both thinking too.
Well, see, the costume was different because I had a different idea for the costume. Originally, it was going to be more like Gene Wilder as Willy Wonka with the top hat and like the suit and tails. And I'm like, I can't really jump around in that. So we all kind of thought about it and just decided it should be more like a track suit, like a retro futurist kind of like Tron or Logan's Run feel to it.
Yeah, it was very collaborative. Like Lance really came on and informed the character DJ Lance Rock and really brought that to the table, more than us kind of saying this is how you're going to act and this is what you're going to be like. It was real collaboration. And the same with Kevin, Kevin was friends with Lance, and he's just a connoisseur of animation, like from history all the way till now. And so we brought him on as like, what could we do awesome with animation? You get the best animators and illustrators, and he really filled that role. Kevin doesn't have a mic. He's on his side.
No, but also Lance was in a band, and Scott was in a band they used to play together, and when we were developing the show, Scott kept saying, I know this guy, he'd be perfect for the host of the show, because we wanted to find, a host of the show. My friend Lance, and I was like, okay, great, I don't know this guy. But we were, developing and trying to get things going, and we're finally we went down to Amoeba in Los Angeles where Lance was working. And Lance came out, and it just lightning bolt.
He was the guy.
That was the guy. So, but again, with Lance, real quick, Lance's aspirations, Lance, but in no means was like, yeah, I know what I want to do. When I get older, I want to be a kid show host. So,
Be an actor.
Lance is a great musician and a great performer, and also has really great style, and musically kind of schools all of us on his music knowledge. If you've seen that movie High Fidelity where everyone music snobs each other, Lance could beat all those guys. So that was another big thing, is that Lance is DJ Lance Rock. He is a DJ, and that was his DJ name. So it wasn't like we just thought of hey, let's be fresh and cool and have this hip-hop element to the show, but we wanted it to be real. And if Lance was a carpenter, it would be Carpenter Lance Rock. But it just so happened it worked out and was perfect for the show because of Lance's, intimate knowledge of music, and it just all worked out. And Lance brought a lot to the table, like you were saying earlier, like helping develop the costume and also introducing us to Kevin, which was huge.
Huge.
So Kevin,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about your contributions on the music side, animation.
Well, yeah, I'm the least recognizable face here probably for you. But yeah, I'm the theremin guy. I get spotted sometimes. Actually, I played theremin. It's funny because I played theremin with Lance's band, the Rainmakers in LA. I had a band. We would do shows together, and they would ask me to just throw a little spice on their massive enchilada. And so that's where we kind of started. And then I thought I was going to get the right music on the show, but it turned out they had already the most stellar group already. So I kind of had to sneak in a little bit later in the songwriting, but I eventually got in and got to contribute. But the team that we got, I don't think anyone's here, but they are the most awesome guys you can imagine. I mean, they just write. I mean, the kind of influences that come in on this show, I mean, I could be wrong, I'm not an expert, but it just seems like for preschool, we're just really expanding the boundaries, I think, of what you can do musically. Right?
No, that's really important. I mean, one of the things that's unique about the show is that it crosses a lot of boundaries. I mean, you go from preschoolers all the way up to college kids, teenagers. I mean, talk a little bit about the influence of the music and how much of an impact that's had, and some of the bands that we started out asking to be a part of the show, and now a lot of them are asking to join up and collaborate with GABBA. Any
Okay, so
Yeah, we like music.
well, when we were doing that, we wanted to make a music show, and first and foremost, that was one thing we knew a little bit about was music, and we thought we could kind of try to infuse different styles into the show. And when we shot the pilot, that was something that Scott came up with, was an idea to bring Biz Markie onto the show.
This is just awesome. Like he's beatboxing. He's like the guy, I've just always been obsessed with it.
So yeah,
I don't know why.
it was like Scott, in Scott's way. It's like, I got this idea, man. Like, what if Biz Markie? He's awesome. I'm like, what? He goes, what if Biz Markie came and taught kids how to beat, or not? Actually, taught kids how to dance. And
The Biz Dance.
I was like, that would be awesome, because Biz Markie had a song called The Biz Dance. And he just did something crazy and taught kids how to dance. And I was like, that's great, Scott, but where are we going to get a hold of Biz Markie? So we're just two dudes in a garage trying to make a kids show. And Scott's like, I don't know, but I know it's going to happen. And
Just try. Let's keep
and
trying.
so we just tried, and finally we found him on MySpace, and he's like, he just happened to be in LA, and he came down to the set, and we shot Biz Markie on the set doing a dancey dance, actually. What now is the dancey dance? At first it was Biz Markie, and when he was done, it seemed like he wasn't that into it, remember?
He just wanted to do a little more. He was like, yeah, this is cool.
This is cool,
I beatbox.
Yeah, he's like, if you guys get picked up, I want to come on your show and teach kids how to beatbox, because that's real. And we were like, well, let's just do it right now. So we shot 2 takes of Biz doing the Biz's Beat of the Day, and that became Biz's Beat of the Day on the show. So ultimately, with Kevin and Lance and Biz and everyone on the show's become like this kind of free form, like, why can't we do it show? Like, why can't we show preschoolers how to beatbox? And it's interesting, we did a little testing, and some parents, you give people a chance to critique something, and they turn into trolls all of a sudden. But some parents were like, I don't want kids spitting on my furniture.
They do that
Why have
already.
kids then? You know what I mean? But from that, we thought, let's expand it and let's go to Mark Mothersbaugh from Devo and have him teach kids how to draw. And then our producer Justin kind of got celebrity fever, and I think he's still in the hospital with it. But so he just started going to anyone that would like look at him and give him like demos of Yo Gabba Gabba the pilot. And one of the first people, go ahead. That's how we got Elijah. Yeah. Like so, we saw Elijah Wood at a concert, and he was like, he had a backpack full of Yo Gabba pilots, and he's like, watch this show, we want you to be on it, you know. And so, interesting enough, Elijah Wood, before we even got picked up, he emailed us back and was like, when you guys, if the show ever comes out, I want to be on it. So we got a really great response from people.
Yeah, kudos to Elijah. He really got it just by looking at it. He's like, whoa, this is a cool show. I want to be a part of it. Like, he had no clue what it was going to be. Same with the Shins. Like, the Shins just watched the video and were like, okay, this is good. We want to be a part of it.
Yeah, so from that, like, people just started, calling us and being interested in being on the show. Second season, we got on a call with the Roots, the guys from the Roots, and I was talking with Amir from the Roots, and I was so kind of starstruck on the phone because I mean that's Questlove, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he wants to be on the show, and so I was trying to pitch him on the idea of not only doing a song but doing a drummer segment, which is on the show. Sometimes we have drummers and they teach what the drums they use and then how to use them to kids, and which we think is a good thing. Like kids need to learn how to play the drums. Come on. But, so he's like, he said, say no more, man, say no more, I get it. I watch the show every day with my kids, my favorite show on TV, and we were just like, what? So, it's been pretty amazing to work with all these people that we totally respect and are really influenced by, but then somehow they become a big part of the show, like Biz and the Roots and Mark Mothersbaugh and so many amazing artists.
And mostly they're all doing it for their kids, They really genuinely have a heart for the kids. It's not just we're trying to further our careers or whatever. Like, they have to learn a totally different song that they didn't write and like make it their own and really go out of their way for no money just to do it for kids. So all those guys, Biz,
Except for
Mark.
Paul Williams, who was awesome and just wanted to do it.
That's right.
That was probably one of the coolest things to have Paul Williams come on the show and do Rainbow that was pretty rad.
Yeah, talking about golfing with Paul Williams was like surreal. It's like, dude, I saw you on Fantasy Island.
So, Matthew and Jay. There you are down there. Yeah, so we've done a deal with Oni Press for DJ Land. So what can you tell us about the books and from your perspective coming into this project? Were you fans beforehand?
Oh yeah, I have a 2-year-old and a 2 and 7 months. We've been watching Gabba since he can sit in on the demo. And he loves the show. I love the show. My wife loves the show. It's great. So to be able to do this comic is awesome. So about the comic, we've got 3 coming out. One is 128-page all-ages anthology with short stories by comic legends like Mike Allred and Evan Dorkin, who's also doing stuff in the show, of course. And then people who work on the show like Julia Wickerman and Chris Lewis. So that's like made for everybody, and everybody should be able to enjoy that. We're also doing 2 shorter board books for preschoolers. They're going to be comics for me.
Board books.
So the kids can read them about charity and stuff. Those are going to be coming out in the fall.
Matthew.
I'm one of the artists on the project. And that's one thing I watched the show. Hey, I've been like watching the show since it was on the internet, and I don't have a kid, but I like just 100% on board. Being kind of a fan of some Christians, I definitely like had heard about it and it was like really enjoying the show. And that's like, you guys were talking about like the music aspect of it. That's one thing that I immediately really got was the visual aspect of the show, just being an artist myself. So when I was given the opportunity to work on the comics, I was very excited. Like, just like, heard the rumblings in OD that they want to do that, and I was just like, I'm on board. Like, we need to be a part of this. So, and it's been really fun to work on it. It's like really fun characters.
Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you. We think the books are going to be great. You said fall, first one's coming out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all coming out at the same time, roughly.
Awesome. Now, one of the other things that we're doing at GABBA, we got 3 seasons on the air. We also have a live touring show, which I don't know if any of you have gone to. The live touring show has been a tremendous amount of fun, and I figured, Lance could talk a little bit about his experience both working on a show that's filmed as well as a live touring show, and what it's like, and what are the differences, and what's it like getting the reaction from the crowd?
Well, the live show is pretty intense. It's a lot of work, but I don't know how many people have seen the live show yet, but it's a lot of people behind it. They've got a big video wall, and there's a lot of video cues, and I have to make sure I don't lose my voice, and there's a lot of jumping around, and we always have a band and a dance guest, and there's a lot going on, but it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. It's like kind of like the kids' first rock concert in a way. It's like a lot of high energy. We just want to make it a lot of fun. And there's a lot of surprises there, so yeah, it's pretty good. But it's a lot of work.
Anybody best? Some of the acts that we've had on the live show have been phenomenal. They've been great surprises. And also, some of the
Erica Badu is awesome. In Dallas, she came out. She did that Family Tree song, but they completely redid it. She was playing the drum machine while she did it. It sounded like a different song, but she was really into it. She had her kid there. She was great. She was a lot of fun.
New York. Yeah, talk about New York. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was in New York. Okay, there's a song on Yo Gabba Gabba that was originally done by the Pyramids called Banana. It's like an old reggae song, and a band called the Agrolites, the LA band, did it on the show. And we have bands come out on the live show, and we don't even sometimes know who's going to show up that day because it's always a last minute thing, like who's in town, who can do it. And we had Dinosaur Jr. come to the show in New York, and if you're familiar with Dinosaur Jr., they play super loud, like melt your legs loud, like it hurts your ears so bad your legs fall off. But they had the tune turned down, and I've seen Dinosaur Jr. a lot of times with earplugs in, but they turned way down, and so it was even kind of more awkward. And they played the song Banana, a reggae song, which was like, for Dinosaur Jr. was unbelievable. I mean, it was just
left to the right.
I think maybe Scott and Lance and I were the only ones in the audience just like laughing and like screaming and like crying. And then everyone in the audience, all parents were like, what is going on right now? But then later, Daryl McDaniels, DMC from Run DMC came out. He did a dancey dance. So it was like Dinosaur Jr. and Run DMC in the same show, and Biz Markie on the same show. Like, I don't know, that seems pretty awesome.
Yeah, they all came out at the end together.
They did all come out.
Okay, but my
I'm
favorite,
so surprised.
in Cleveland, we had Bootsy Collins come out. And he taught the peanut butter stomp. And he says, squish it, baby. And I was like, what did I just see? That was the best thing I ever did. So we're hoping Bootsy will come back on the show as Lance's dad.
Gabba's also been traveling around too. Plex made a trip to Coachella. Here, I don't know if anyone was at Coachella, but you guys want to set it up?
Coachella was
Since my flight was delayed and I was stuck with the volcano.
Coachella was amazing.
Coachella could have been a disaster. It was really so chaotic and so hot and so unorganized, and it didn't look like it was going to come together. And so far to date, it's the best show that we ever did. Everything is locked and pretty amazing.
Well, just a little history of my band, the Aquabats. We have a great relationship with Paul Tollett, who actually created the Coachella Festival. Paul put out our first 2 records as the Aquabats, The Fury of the Aquabats, and Put It Out. That's actually second and third, but I don't count the first one as a real record. But Paul put out our records and was a huge Aquabats fan, and that's why he signed us to this label. He started a label, and once Yo Gabba started popping, Paul was like, how can we incorporate this into the show? And for a second I thought, well, it's just because we're friends or whatever, but really, like, every year there's been Coachella, I've asked Paul if the Aquabats could play, and he says no every year. He's like, you guys are like Warped Tour punk rock. You're not, that's cool, that's you guys, Aquabats. I love you guys. But for some reason, Yo Gabba Gabba, he thought was a great fit for the show. And it kind of makes sense, you know, Yo Gabba Gabba at Coachella.
It does now, but we were kind of nervous at the time. I mean, it's a kids show, and this is kind of like an ultra hip festival.
Every other kids show that was at Coachella has done really bad. So I think it was pretty groundbreaking that a preschool show got invited to be at the hippest music festival in the world. So it was really awesome. And we killed it. And it was funny to be in a tent with like 4,000 like people, and there was about 5 preschoolers there. And everyone was going crazy, singing "Party My Tummy," and getting the sillies out, like just jumping around. It's pretty rad. Everyone got in the sandbox and started going crazy. So.
Well, let's take a look.
We shot some video of the characters enjoying themselves.
Here we go.
Favorite Coachella moment for me personally, and I know Lance and I were both there to see PAL for sure, but so Plex, after a while security guards got hip to it, but we started like just going anywhere with the costumes and filming whatever we could. So somehow Plex made his way up on stage with the specials. I don't know how he got up there. So he's on the side of the stage dancing, and some guy grabs him and says, "Hey, get off the stage!" Like, that's using words that preschoolers should never learn. Get the bleep off the stage, and like yelling, and we're like, "Oh man, sorry." He was really angry, and I did a double take, and it was Johnny Lydon from the Sex Pistols. Johnny Rotten yelling at Plex. That was it. It was like, all right, this is it. He told Plex to F off. That is the best thing ever.
Okay, a couple of quick things to mention. We talked a little bit about the book that we're doing with Oni. A few things that you may want to know. Now, here's what we need. Adult sizes, right? We need emails to bands. Big adult sizes. Absolutely.
Yeah, we tried to talk Vans and they're like, what are you talking about? This is a kid's show.
Let me tell you, we've been every time this photo goes anywhere, we get a when and what size can I get them for adult? You know, I need a 13.
Matching
We're also doing some cool
shoes.
stuff with packaging, kind of a color.
It's super Dayglow packaging, which is good. We're bringing Dayglow back.
A little new artwork. Now, and also, are you familiar with Music is Awesome? Well, Music is Awesome 2 is coming out in August, I believe. Lots of DVDs for the kids, and of course, you can always get them online at iTunes.
Or in Amoeba.
Actually, don't work there anymore.
Just personal favorites. And now, the one thing that you can also get here at the con. This is over at the Kid Robot booth. They've got a bunch, I think. And,
Yeah, we ran over there right away. We gotta get them. They're like, great. They're only $11.
Lance,
So I got 10.
You'll be there tomorrow.
I'll be there on Sunday. Sign it, and I'll sign them on the bottom. But
Woo!
this is the size they are, and they're pretty awesome because I look like Cartman.
Oh yeah, and if you take his hat off, Lance is really a rabbit. This could be Princess Leia with dreads, maybe. Like HR from Bad Brains or something. Could be. It could be mid-jump and dreadlocks are going way up.
You should do that on the show.
We try, every season we try Bad Brains. It's really tricky to get a hold of them. They're like in and out of the psychiatric ward.
So we only got.
That's one of my favorite bands, for sure.
We got about 10 left. We want to make sure we get the dance contest in, and if there are a couple questions, maybe we can take from the crowd. So,
Well, how much time do we have, Mike? 15?
about 15.
We got plenty of time. Hey, Kevin made this really cool thing that it would be cool to show because Kevin slaved away doing it, and we had a thing that we did in Hollywood about a month ago, 2 months ago, where we did like Kevin and Lance screened a bunch of movies and things that were big influences on Yo Gabba Gabba, because when I say Yo Gabba Gabba, I mean all of us that work on the show. And so Kevin put together this little influences reel that's kind of fun to watch some of the shows we used to watch, and you can see some definite influences on the show, some huge inspirations, and even some characters that we're definitely homaging on the show. So check it out.
That's my name. I don't think that even scratches the surface, honestly. That's just like.
Yeah, that's just the tip of the iceberg, because Scott and I are big like kid show connoisseurs, and we kind of started collecting that stuff over the years. But there's two shows too, also obviously Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers that have a really big influence on the show as well. So anyway, the list goes on, but we just wanted to show that because Kevin went really hard.
Awesome. Three contestants, come on up, please.
How they're doing that.
The dance off.
Wow, Dad with baby.
Show us pretty good.
That's gonna be tough one to beat.
All right, so this
Dance off?
Yeah. I did the dance off.
we play a tune, have them stop up. You get 30 seconds to. And then it will be voted on by crowd applause. All right. So you ready?
Who's going first?
Who's going first?
Mom and son?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Ready?
All right, DJ Gaz.
Contestants, you guys ready?
Oh wait, we got two kids?
Wait,
All right,
Yeah,
hands up.
Rainbow Bright.
Over there.
Ready to go?
Wait.
1, 2, wait, Rainbow Bright.
Is she going next?
Are you gonna dance together?
New generation.
And last but not least, we have DJ Lance.
Oh, yeah. Your dad stole his suit.
All right, here we go. I think you're all going to get prizes, so come on. You have time for a couple of questions? How are we doing? Okay, just a couple of questions. So, you sir, right there with the camera.
Any news on the movie?
Oh, yeah, that's good. Scott?
Woo!
Yeah, good. Go, Scott.
We would love a Yo Gabba movie. As we we're working hard on it. We're trying.
We were developing it last year with Jason Reitman, up in the air, Jason Reitman. And his daughter's a big fan of the show, and his schedule just got so crazy. Once he became Academy Award winner, Jason Reitman, it seemed like it got really hard to get meetings. And so we amicably decided to not develop the movie together anymore because he's got things he's doing. It was not a bad thing, but we're continuing to develop it on our own, and maybe that might be a better way to go anyway.
The young lady right here.
Okay.
You have a question? No, did you? Yeah. Did you say, oh, you don't. How about you, young lady over there with the glasses? Oh, how does she wants to know, how do you use the magic?
That's a secret. That's a secret.
All right.
Maybe I'll show you one day, but I can't show you in front of all our friends here. Maybe I'll show you.
We got time for one more. Yes, right here.
Oh, come on, two more.
Do you guys write yourself, or do you have a team of writers?
Did they write themselves, or do they have a team of writers?
We write a lot of the stuff ourselves, but we also work with a lot of people in collaboration, especially lately. We have a lot
The
of...
first two seasons, it was mainly Scott and I writing all the episodes. And then this last season, we expanded it out so people like Kevin Lee wrote the Pets episode. I don't know if any of you have seen that one yet.
It's a great episode.
So we expanded out to other writers, people we work with that get the show and know the show, but it's not like we hired like a team of writers to come in and do the show, but yeah, we mainly do it ourselves. Go ahead, Mike.
One quick thing I forgot to mention is that actually Lance will be signing, I just got this handed to me, posters tomorrow for the new comic at the Oni booth from 2:30 to 3:50. Booth 1833, if anybody wants to go check it out and get and then on Sunday, I think it's the Kid Robot Sunday. So, all right, one more question. Oh, you remembered it?
She got shy, but I have one. Is Jack Black coming back on the show?
I mean, I can't speak for them. We hope so.
I hope so. That was a great experience with Jack Black. Lance used to work with Jack's wife's sister at Amoeba. So Jack's wife contacted us through. Wait, you gotta tell the story.
No, I used to work with Rachel Hayden, who's one of the Hayden triplets, and they're all very talented. And her sister Tanya was married to Jack, so
Jack's a huge fan of the show.
absolutely.
You know, he's really busy, but...
His wife emailed us and said, "Hi, I'm Jack Black's wife. He'd like to be on the show. Is there any way you guys could squeeze him in?" So we wrote a whole episode about him. As long as you're going to be here, why don't you stay all day?
Hey guys, We have to wrap up.
Here's the champ.
We want to say thank you very much. And, we'll see you hopefully this week, the next couple of days. And, thanks for watching.
So,